Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and on today's program we will get an update from the Quincy Art Association and also learn about a special exhibit going on all this month at the Q Arts Gallery in Quincy Center. First, though, as always, we check out the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it is gorgeous out there. Brilliant sunshine, just a few clouds. It's already 69 degrees. Breezy, but highs today, look at that, in the upper 70s, maybe even near 80 at some locations. A big chill coming this weekend. The sunshine will remain, but the temperatures not so much. Tomorrow's highs only in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. A little nicer on Sunday. Nice for a Kids Fest on Sunday out on Marymount Beach with the high Sunday in the low 60s, and kind of a repeat for the Columbus Day holiday on Monday. Mainly sunny with a high in the low 60s. Again, sunshine and 69 degrees in Quincy right now. Checking news for you today, the Quincy City Council is exploring the possibility of implementing a residency requirement for new city employees. The council this week did agree to put that request from Ward 2 Councilor Anthony Andronico and Ward 3 Councilor Ian Kane into committee for further discussion. Kane says he feels that requiring city workers to live in the city will lead to increased economic growth.
At the end of the day, everyone that works for the city is a public servant. And so living where you work or working where you live, I think, is very important. And then thirdly, talking with my colleague here, we talked about backing into making housing more affordable. So if we can look at how to make these jobs more applicable to support people to live in the city, to work here, I think that's a win for everyone. So thank you.
Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch says he does want to check the constitutionality of a residency requirement, and also says the cost of living in Quincy may present a burden for some lower wage earners. The City Council's Oversight Committee will be reviewing that proposal. 2 years into the 7-year, $100 million roadway improvement project in Quincy, and DPW Commissioner Al Grazioso says they are ahead of schedule and below budget on many of those projects. During an update at the City Council meeting this week, Grazioso said that they're working off of a priority list, but if a water main breaks under a certain street, that street takes priority.
We have a main road list also that we haven't really attacked yet. We've done some, but in the next few years we're going to be attacking that. We have several main roads throughout the city. We're doing Willard Street this year. We did Crown Colony this year. We have part of Hancock Street for next year and some other mains. But we have a number of mains throughout the city that we have separate from our neighborhoods. So yeah, those are the roads that will be getting some calming. Yeah. And then we work with the park department and the trees.
Grazioso said that his department will be publishing the schedule of streets to be repaved on the city website for the public to review. Looks like it's going to cost an extra $23 million to build the new Quincy Police Station. This week, Mayor Thomas Koch sent that request to the City Council for the additional funding, citing rising construction costs due to inflation. City Council President Noel DeBona said that request was not a surprise.
The greatest thing was, I said to the mayor, I says, how much is it going to be? He goes, less than 30, but more than 20. And he come in with 23 million. So it's closer to the 20 mark. So it looks good. It went right into finance committee. We really had no discussion on it just because it's going to go in and finance and allow more discussion. But, you know, this will probably be for extra construction and also transportation improvements. Unfortunately, throughout the United States, throughout the world, the construction costs have gone up, obviously, in the last year or two with the COVID-19 pandemic. And what we're looking to do, they've cut back, they've scaled back some things, but the costs have gone up. So they're coming back to the council for some funding, and we'll vet it a little bit more when we get into finance committee.
City Council previously approved $120 million for the new public safety complex that will be built at the site of the current police station on C Street. The new complex will also house the fire department's administration and the Office of Emergency Management. DeBona says he expects the Finance Committee to vote on the additional funding request by the end of November. A homeless teenager has been charged with attacking a man in Quincy Center with a knife Wednesday morning. Police say 19-year-old Kyle Bradford assaulted the 65-year-old victim right near Washington and Temple Streets just after 11 a.m. on Wednesday. Police say Bradford pushed the man and then brandished a knife, threatening to harm him. The victim managed to push Bradford out of the way and quickly get into his apartment building. He was not hurt. Bradford was arrested a short time later, charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Police say he was also wanted for 2 probation violations. Well, this coming weekend is National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend. Here in Quincy, the National Fire Protection Association is illuminating their headquarters over at Battery March Park in red. Every October, the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation sponsors the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend to pay tribute to those firefighters who died in the line of duty during the previous year. Now, in 2017, the foundation created the Light the Night for fallen firefighters to recognize the 25th anniversary of the foundation and of that weekend. Since then, the Light the Night Memorial has expanded to include fire departments and families lighting their homes in red. Here in Quincy, Chief Joe Jackson tells me that the flags at all Quincy firehouses will be lowered to half staff over the weekends. Now, the new Boston Children's Hospital Bloodmobile will be making 2 stops in Quincy this month. Tomorrow, that blood drive will take place at the Parks and Recreation Department on Marymount Parkway from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then it comes back on Thursday, October 20th at City Hall from 9:30 to 4:30. Both those blood drives are to honor Elise Susan DeVries of Marshfield. She's become known as Super Ellie. She was born 3 months early back in April of last year and has been battling neuroblastoma ever since. These blood drives are all part of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month for October. That is our check of news. Coming up, the new Q Arts Gallery in Quincy Center has a special exhibit this month. We will learn about that and meet the artist next. Welcome back. The new Q Arts Gallery on the Hancock Adams Common in Quincy Center has had a really special exhibit on display called A Colorful Journey. And we are so pleased today to welcome from the Art Association, Linda Santoro, and the actual artist who's featuring that exhibit, Chun-Ming Chmielewski. So ladies, welcome to the program. Great to meet you.
Thank you.
Linda, great to see you. And
you too.
Chun, nice to meet you.
Same here.
Yes. Linda, as I mentioned, it's kind of still new, right? The Q Arts Gallery.
We are just about to celebrate our first anniversary.
Has it been a year already? Wow.
October 15th.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe we made it. And very aggressively. We've had generally a new exhibit every month.
Wow.
So, and we're just learning as far as how to run a gallery.
Because you
And
never
it's-
had one before.
We never had one
Yeah.
before. It was only a couple of events every year. Maybe the Library Arts Fest, Arts Affair.
Right.
So this is we have definitely been aggressive on getting in as many pieces of artwork as we can from as many people. So it's been great.
For folks who don't know, where is the Q Arts Gallery?
It is at 1229 Hancock Street in Quincy, and right across from Quincy College, right near the T. So it's very accessible. Parking can be an issue sometimes, but there is parking in the back, and there's always the garage. You could always park at the garage.
Right. For folks
So-
who might be familiar, it's the Monroe Building, right? It's known as the Monroe
Yes.
Building? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Where there used to be a very popular bridal gown shop for many, many years.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That on the corner is the Visitor Center.
Right.
So the mayor was very gracious to lend us the space
Yeah.
for as long as we can have it. So
And you've had an exhibit every month since you opened?
just about.
That's great.
Some we've held over a little bit longer
Yeah.
if they were popular and the members were doing well. So we would keep it a little bit longer, extend it.
Yeah. How do your members feel about it?
They love it.
Yeah.
They love it
Yeah.
because in the past they only had a handful of opportunities to display and sell their work, and now they have many opportunities during the year. And we're coming into our next exhibit, which will be, I don't even want to go beyond that because I love the one we're in right now, believe me. But it will be another member show for the holidays, small works.
Okay.
So
All right.
a little bit more affordable, smaller pieces that people can buy for gifts or for themselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would think to have such a high-profile location in an actual gallery with proper lighting, right, and
Lighting's great.
and proper atmosphere would really be exciting for an artist who might not normally have a venue like that, you know, to display their work.
great.
And it might encourage new members
It
too.
is.
And is it?
We have people walking, we have great foot traffic
Yeah.
there. And there's a lot of young people that have moved into the city.
Sure.
Very diverse
Okay.
population. And a lot of artists and people who do wander in are so entranced by it. And we always ask them, are you an artist? And 9 times out of 10 they are.
Really?
So they eventually join. So it's been wonderful.
Yeah. Now, the gallery is just for exhibits, right? That's not where you have your classes or
We can have some classes there
Oh.
if they're not too messy
Okay.
because we do have carpeting, or we could put a tarp down.
Yes,
but
yes.
the Art Center still is the place on High School Ave where
Okay.
we conduct our classes, which we have, they're ongoing right now for fall. We have painting, introduction to painting. We have pottery classes, figure sculpture, life classes. These are all ongoing right now.
Okay.
That we generally hold 4 times a year.
Instructor-wise, how are you set, Linda? Do you need instructors? Do you have enough on staff?
I think we're pretty good right now.
Okay, that's good to hear.
We just need the students.
You need the students. Okay, how does one become a member? How does one become a student?
Very easy.
Yeah.
Just go to our website,
Okay.
quincyartma.org,
Okay.
and you can sign up online.
Okay.
And Britt Kreitman, who was here last time,
Yes.
was our ace. She got us all automated and got us online, and everything is so much easier now
You are now
than it ever
21st
was.
century.
We are 21st century, yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that leads us to the exhibit that's underway right now. It's called A Colorful Journey by Quincy artist, right? Ching-Ming Chmielewski?
That's it.
Okay.
You said it better than me. It took me 40 years to learn how to say it right. Thank you.
So tell us, Chen, a little bit about yourself. You have an interesting story. Born in China, raised in Hong Kong,
Right.
trained there, took a break. You were like a business professional, and then you hate that, so you get back into art.
Before I get to that,
Yeah.
I wanted to add the gallery is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I know Linda and Frank does so much is tastefully done, and it really is professional looking gallery. I'm so pleased
Thank you.
to become a member. I'm quite new to Quincy.
Really?
I moved into Quincy 4 years ago.
Oh,
And from the Quincy Art Association, I am just so grateful to join because I make good friends. I have grown so much from showing my art and all that.
how nice is that to hear, Linda?
Yes.
Well,
That's-
the first professional painting I ever purchased was Chun Ming.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you.
And it
Thank
hangs,
you.
as soon as you walk into
Yeah.
my house, that's the first thing you see.
Okay.
So I'm a little biased here,
Linda.
but yeah, we're so pleased to have you.
Thank you. So my colorful journey.
Yes.
I, like you already mentioned, I live in Hong Kong, grew up in Hong Kong. I was born in China, but I was living in Hong Kong since I was 2. My dad was a Chinese calligrapher. So as old as I can hold a Chinese brush, I remember that's all I have to do every day, practice my characters. Some will be very simple character. That was before I went to school.
Your father wanted you to do
Like
that?
my father instruct me and more like make me practice.
Okay.
At first, it will be very simple characters using water and ink, and then is my name, and then will be all the names in the family on use old newspaper.
Oh, okay.
Practice.
Really?
And then eventually using rice paper.
Yeah.
So that's my first introductions to art.
Okay.
Because you might know the form of art, the Chinese art, really started with calligraphy. And then it's painting. It's always ink and water on rice paper. So that's my beginning of my journey.
Okay.
And then I was in school. During the school time years, not much art
No.
because in Hong Kong studying is you study math and physics
Right.
and language and all that. Not much art. And then I remember when I was a teenager, maybe 13 and 14, I saw some Chinese painting with Chinese Buddha and Buddha's monks by this Zen master who was a art professor in the Hong Kong Chinese University. I just love it, and it's more than love. Fell in love. I was obsessed with this art, and I did research and asked about, and I seek this teacher out, and I was begging him to take me on as his private student. I guess he was curious too. Why this young girl want to paint?
Right. 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, want to paint just monk. So he was curious enough to start teaching me in his studio. And I follow him and studying, again, just monks and Buddhas and others for years until I left for the US to college, maybe 3-4 years. And that's the end of that's the first chapter of my Chinese painting.
So you didn't do art when you came here at first?
No, my new life in the US
Yeah.
was study and getting degree after degrees.
In business, right?
In business, yeah. I was first in finance and then in business, and then in another degree in business communication.
Yeah.
All those. Too busy to get a job. I was like, get this image in my head. I got to study something. I can get a job. I'm in a new land, new world, and I did that. And then I got married, have 2 kids. Interesting as fate really works out. My younger child, my son, showed a lot of interest in art and was quite gifted. So I was inspired by him and decided, my husband and I decided, it's time for me to quit my job, be a full-time mother, back into a student. So I started taking art classes again. And this time, I wanted to really learn art, the Western art, the real art.
Okay, so Western art is different than Eastern art? It is?
Very.
Okay.
The Eastern art was really emphasized on the essence of the object, the feelings. It's not much about the proportion, the perspective. I mean, you're really trying to capture the feelings that you see.
I see.
So the Western art, and I realized I have to learn how to draw accurately. I have to learn the theory of colors. I have to learn perspective. And I find that exciting because I never learned those.
All new, right?
All new.
And here you are, a mom. And
Yeah.
you're starting your second career in art again.
And I was really excited, and I fell in love with the colors because I never deal with color. I always deal with ink and water,
Black and white. Right.
So I went crazy about all the colors, and I thought watercolor would be the easier because I know how to control the water.
Mix water, right?
Right. So I started with watercolor, and then it's not colorful enough for me.
Okay.
I went into pastel.
Yeah.
And then I move on to oil and acrylic. So
And here you are.
Here I am, and that's my second part of my painting.
Yeah.
But interesting enough, I met this German, it's interesting, German Sumier artist.
Sumi
Sumier is like the Chinese, but the Japanese call it sumier.
Sumie.
It's pretty much the same. It's also water and ink and watercolor on rice paper.
Okay.
Basically the same, but the Japanese calls it sumier. This German artist who's very good in it, very, very good. I met him and I had the same feeling that I want to be his student. So it's just like when I was
Now, you're an adult at this
teenager.
point.
I was in my 40s.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, I wanted to learn what he has. You know, I
Yeah.
want to get what he has. So I did. And I, again, approached him, wanted to be his private student. And I went to his studio every single week for 15 years.
Wow.
Until he decided to move back to his home country, Germany. So that's my journey. It's like go on and on. I really, really enjoy it. And when I think back, and I know it was some feeling that I was after, even when I was young or in my 40s. I want to get that sense of calmness and peacefulness and joy when I do the painting, execute the painting.
So, and in fact, you yourself now teach, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So do you find that as rewarding as being a student?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. It's funny, as a teacher, I don't emphasize on skills, on techniques. I always tell my student, if you're looking for techniques or how to draw, and I'm the wrong teacher.
Okay.
I am a lot better to figure out what you really like and let's get the essence out of it. So that's how I teach.
Yeah. Now, has your son followed in your footsteps?
Yes.
Really?
My son is quite an accomplished artist today. Yes.
How does that make you feel, Chun?
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Bursting with pride, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The apple hasn't fallen far.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah, I'm very
It's quite a
proud of him.
story. It really
Thank
is.
you.
What did you do during the pandemic when you couldn't have in-person classes? Did you find an outlet somehow?
I enjoy myself. I did a lot of painting. Actually, during the pandemic, I had so much time. I started doing something new. I went really whimsical. I will start painting something really fun. Little kids running around. It's very whimsical stuff.
Well, you've perfected everything else, so now you can have fun, right?
In fact, that's very important.
Yes, to
Yeah.
have fun.
To have fun,
Yeah.
yeah. When I see any young artist, and I say, okay, if it's not fun, don't do it.
Right. Your exhibit, A Colorful Journey, will be at the Q Arts Gallery till the end of October.
To the end of
End of October, Linda?
yes.
Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's free to look
It's
at?
free. We're
Okay.
open Thursday and Friday, 2 to 5, Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 5.
Okay.
And don't miss it. It's just wonderful.
Obviously,
Really
you
amazing.
have been inspired by it.
Completely. Yes.
Chung, does this exhibit that we're seeing the information about it now on the screen, does it represent all of the different mediums that you've worked with over the years?
Oh no, this is the sumier.
Okay.
So this is the Chinese style.
Okay.
And I have 100 pieces there.
100 pieces?
Yes. So I have all the media. I have oil, acrylic, pastel, watercolor. I have all.
All in this
different-
particular show?
All this, yeah,
Okay.
and the Western style, totally different style, and even have my whimsical style.
So some of the latest works?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is this your first public exhibit?
No. I have done quite a bit. I have won a lot of first prize. I had from like the Duxbury, the museum, they hold the winter jewelry shows and stuff. I have done quite a bit.
So to a budding artist, Chun, or an aspiring artist, what would be your sage advice to them?
again, do what you like
Yeah.
and have fun, but try new things. Push to the edge. Yeah, just do it.
So fun to talk to you and learn about your story.
Thank you so
and we
much,
encourage
Joe.
folks to stop by and see the exhibits.
That would be great.
Yes.
Enjoy. Do enjoy it. Yeah.
So, and Linda, we just have a short time left, but I know the Art Association is planning a special tribute to Kelly Cobble in the future, right?
Yes, we are. We don't have a date just yet,
Okay.
but we will be, and we'll be inviting the community, of course, Kelly's family and friends, because we wouldn't be here if it weren't for Kelly Cobble.
That's right. Yeah. So we'll
I
look
don't know
forward to
how
that. Please
else
let us
to
know.
put it. Yeah, I just
when-
got the chills
Yeah.
just saying that. But she was amazing. She held the Art Association together for a long, long time.
I think she would be very pleased to hear the story
know she
today
would be.
and Chun's story, and I'm sure many artists to come in the future as
yeah.
well.
Yes, she was so passionate about the classes
Yes.
and bringing in new young people into the art world. So, yeah, we're carrying the torch for her.
Good. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Take a look at the forecast again for the rest of the day today. Just gorgeous. Lots of sunshine, mild temperatures, a little breezy, but upper 70s this afternoon. Yes, it is possible it could hit 80 degrees in some locations. The bottom drops off tonight. Temperatures dip into the mid-40s, and then we're back to fall over the weekend. It stays dry, but temperatures only in the upper 50s tomorrow, low 60s for Sunday, and for the holiday on Monday. Thanks again to Linda Santoro, Chunming Chmielewski for joining us here on the program. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Speaking of Monday, we're off for the Columbus Day holiday. Join us next Friday. We welcome Dove, Domestic Violence Ended, here in Quincy to learn about their upcoming Harvesting Hope fundraiser. Don't forget our website's available for you anytime, qatv.org. Our latest programs, news and information, video on demand, live streaming, much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.